Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Belmont Park on Sunday, perhaps an important prep race for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. This is the Grade 2 Miss Grillo going a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. Before we begin the analysis, I want to remind everybody that Belmont Clocker reports are available every racing day during this fall championship meet. DRF Clocker Mike Welsh and his team of expert clockers, they give you all the information on the morning workouts leading up to these major races. Learn more at drf.com/clocker. Let's meet the field of 2-year-old fillies getting set to go 8.5 on the inner turf in the Miss Grillo Stakes. Cristal for John Kimmel is your 8-5 morning line favorite, a daughter of first crop stallion Palace Malice. The 6 Sparkling Sky for Todd Pletcher. Well, this horse has done nothing wrong in her short career. She is at 7-2 on the line, and Chad Brown, who's dominated this race over the last few years, has selflessly at 6-1. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector for this race. Timeform US doesn't believe this pace will be fast. They have the stretch-out sprinter My Sassy Sarah, the first-time turf horse Wicked Title out there on the lead. It's hard to project paces for 2-year-olds, however, Mike.
Yeah, this is a pretty murky pace situation here. A bunch of horses stretching out off a maiden win. So, we'll see who goes forward and who doesn't.
One of those stretch-out sprinters, the one, Ava K's Girl, made a really nice run in her debut going 5.5. Let's watch that race from Saratoga on August the 23rd. Ava K's Girl for Michelle Nevin, kind of a New York-bred dame only, as she's a daughter of Giants Causeway. She closes this down on the far outside.
Yeah, they won a fast early pace in this race. They were really moving early. This filly got outrun, but you're going to see her come closing at the end here. She switches to her wrong lead, but doesn't stop running and just gets up. We'll see if she stretches out. She certainly has the pedigree to stretch out, Dan, although it's more dirt on the bottom, but she handled her first time out.
Jazik has an awesome turf pedigree by the European stallion Kingman. There's just tremendous turf and class on the bottom. She should be able to stretch out, and she got up. This was a war of attrition in the stretch going 5.5. Let's watch the debut race from Jazik. You see her second from the left in the black hat, and boy, Jazik looks like she's in hot water here, but she somehow is able to finish this thing off.
Yeah, this race really falls apart at the end of this race. You can see Jazik is going to come running also with Selflessly, who's also in here. They're the two widest on the track right now. The horse on the lead is stopping and drifting out in front of them, but they managed to avoid that horse and then get up at the end. I thought they both ran okay, Dan. Jazik, as you say, she's really bred to stretch out.
Really bred to stretch out, trained by some guy named Brown, who's dominated this race, as I've mentioned. My Sassy Sarah's got the fig. 78 fig for her 6 furlong win, second time out at Belmont, but now she's got to stretch out, and she's got the pedigree to stretch out. Her sire Summer Front was a good middle distance turf horse. You've got the Street Cry on the bottom. Like the tactical speed she showed, winning at 6. Let's watch My Sassy Sarah's race. She's the number 7. She was stalking outside. She takes over. She's a little bit green. Once she straightens herself out, she's off to the races. With her speed, she could be dangerous in here, and she should be very prominent when the field swings into the lane.
Yeah, it's just big time improvement for this filly who ran, she ran well first time out, but she took a big step forward in this race. Wins for fun after stalking the pace. She's got to stretch out, but as you say, Summer Front was a really good miler. This is the family of J. Ray, who was a multiple graded stakes winner routing on the turf. She's supposed to handle distance.
Let's watch Cristal, the number 4's win in the P.G. Johnson Stakes. She was disqualified at 41-1 after an impressive debut victory, DQ'd. You got her at 8-5 here, and I thought she ran really well, Mike. She didn't break. She was on the outside. She grinds this field down. She has distance experience. She's got some quality, and listen, she changes back to her left lead here. I think that actually helped her. It gave her a little bit of an energy burst.
She ran well in that race. The horse that was right to her inside, English Breeze, is also back in this spot, and she was, sort of blocked a little bit in the stretch. She ran well, too. The thing with Cristal, Dan, is she just seems like a very mature 2-year-old. She doesn't have a lot of speed. That's a problem when you're taking a short price on a horse, but she's run well in both of her starts.
But I think you make a good point talking about English Breeze, who's her next door neighbor here in the Miss Grillo. I mean, she was only beaten less than a length by Cristal. She's going to be a better price. She probably has more tactical speed. Isn't she the one that you kind of want to take?
Yeah, maybe, because she actually made a pretty impressive debut in her own right when she beat New York Reds, and she ran well in the P.G. Johnson. I don't know if I really feel like she was ever going to win, but man, she wound up over behind horses in the stretch, and so it's not like she had a perfectly clean run. This filly has some talent, and she's already been wrong.
We talked about My Sassy Sarah's tactical speed. Sparkling Sky has that tactical speed as well. Let's watch her maiden win for Todd Pletcher. Second time out, it's something Todd does very well. She was bet in this race. She's in the front right now, and she keeps on going. She's under a drive. She has to work, but I like the fact that she's got the win at 1 mile and a 16th. I like the tactical speed, and I really like her pedigree.
Yeah, it's interesting because she was actually the horse that Cristal bothered in the stretch when she got DQ'd out of that maiden win. So this horse, wound up being placed second in that race. Not that she ran a great race. She won last time. She did it relatively easily. She got a great trip in that race with a leader in that race who was just very green and drifted very wide off the turn and sort of opened that race up.
First time turf for the 7 Wicked title at 30-1 on the morning line. I mean, she's very, very slow on paper from her dirt races. What I found interesting was that Chad Summers convinced Jimmy Toner to work this horse on the turf on September the 8th in company with Hawkish, who's a pretty good older turf male for Jimmy Toner. And Wicked title in watching that workout seemed a little bit green, but Hawkish never really got away from her. I think she might be a turf horse at heart. Wicked strong, first crop sire, yet to sire a turf winner. Listen, this horse obviously has to improve, but I think she's turf meant.
Yeah, they think she's turf meant too. They tried to get her on grass twice at Saratoga, and she got rained off both times. Her win last time was very game. That was a really competitive pace, and she was just sort of locked up the entire way and managed to prevail. Obviously, she's got to take a huge step forward here.
Chad Brown has Selflessly in here. This one was run down by Jazik. We saw that race last time out. It was kind of a race, though, that didn't seem like it was falling apart, Mike?
Yeah, that race really fell apart at the end, and this horse, had her chance at it, just got outfinished by her stablemate.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Miss Grillo Stakes. This is a fun race. I'm just going with the crazy long shot Wicked title. I found that workout fascinating. I think she can be close to the pace. Mike mentioned that they've wanted to get her on the turf for 2 races, but this is a race I'm going to spread. Your top selection, My Sassy Sarah, that's my second pick. I went 7-3-6-4.
Yeah, I just thought My Sassy Sarah might get a really good trip in this race, and she really did take a step forward last time. She's supposed to stretch out. She's a fair price on the line. We'll see what happens. I went 3-4-5.
Nice prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, the Grade 2 Miss Grillo, race number 8 at Belmont, approximate post 4:43 Eastern on Sunday afternoon. Good luck.